Guy who's only been to Orange County once voice during a once in a generation winter storm. They should call it Gray County. They should really call it like Gray County. That shit is not orange. Listen, I've spent 3 days in Orange County. Honestly, I don't know how the palm trees survive, man. It's crazy. We're back. We went to Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. The weather on Saturday when we were at Disneyland was horrendous, but honestly, that kind of owned because there was almost, I don't want to say almost nobody, but I bet the attendance at the park was like 40% of what it normally is. So we were zipping around, and we did all the rides we could do with a toddler. And then also Kate did like half of the rides that you can do without a toddler. While I walked her around for her nap and then took her on the merry-go-round like 70 times. It was good. I had a good time. Same thing, California Adventure was fun too. I realized that the Disney parks, like theme park style, are for me. Because they don't make rides that really like scare people. They just make rides that are like all the modern Disney rides are basically like you sit in a car that doesn't go up or down. It just goes on a track, and then you like pretend to shoot targets with 3D goggles or something. It's beautiful. That's my ideal experience. And then any Disney ride made before the year 2005 is just it's like there was an estate sale for somebody that owned a small boat factory. Every single ride is just like, here's the story of a Disney movie while you are on a boat that takes you through the story as quickly as possible. I had a great tweet that I didn't make it. But the tweet was going to say, people in 1962 getting off of It's a Small World, and it was going to be the Jamie Lee Curtis picture that said, okay. Can you imagine how much your mind was probably blown if you were like the first person to ride It's a Small World? You were like, whoa! It's like we did a whole trip around the world, but in a fraction of the time. I've been everywhere. Also, I have to say, my guess is that they have probably updated It's a Small World more than any other ride in the park. For something built in 1961, there was surprisingly little cultural insensitivity. Although, I don't know how long it's going to take until they replace the Mountie in the Canadian section. To be fair, do we have mounted police in Canada? Yes. I personally don't consider them a symbol of Canada, because you don't see them very often. Especially in the Mountie gear. Like, when you see them, the RCMP is kitted out with, like, they look like an American SWAT team, basically. Sometimes you do see them on the horse, but usually it's just symbolic. It's at, like, a Canada Day festival or something. I got a churro. I got a Mickey Mouse-shaped pretzel. I got 2 Ballast Point grapefruit sculpins that were $12 USD each, which is unfathomable to me. But I said, hey, you know, that was what inspired the tweet, which was Dad at Disneyland. We got to open our own Disneyland. I'm not a Disney adult, by the way. I got a bone to pick with PyrionFlax. He went off on me, dude. He said, I just saw, because Elon's new Twitter algorithm is like designed to stoke as much outrage as possible. So there's like a tweet from like 6 hours ago from PyrionFlax on Thursday or something that was like, adults who go to Disney parks get strangely defensive when you question why they would go to Disney parks. And I said, just as a joke, what the hell, we're leaving for Disney in like 6 hours? And then he said, enjoy meeting your favorite characters like Pinocchio or something like that. I was like, okay, dude. Then I clicked on his tweets, and the dude was like, he literally took a picture of him walking out of the theater, and he's like, Ant-Man and Quantumania was really good. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? It's a mutual level of bald respect that I did not Windows snipper tool that and go, this you? It isn't even an old tweet. It was the most recent tweet. But I said, why would I make an enemy? There's no reason for me to be making an enemy online. Sometimes strength is you know, keeping your trump card in your hand, you know? I turned the other cheek, it's true. I'm not a Disney adult. I'm just like a pretty good dad. My wife is a Disney adult. I'm just like a good husband. We did not ride Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. That was the one thing in like the area we did not go to, in Fantasyland. But as I understand it, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is it's about a frog that gets drunk. It's the scariest ride, bro. I was kind of scared when I rode Pirates of the Caribbean. Nothing in the park was in Disneyland at least was like too extreme for me. But when we got on Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, it tricks you because they're like, there's no height limit. It's just a little lap bar that like doesn't actually protect you from anything. It's like a little boat. You're like, oh, this is gonna be like it's gonna be like the Little Mermaid ride where we're just gonna have the story, and then the shit goes pitch black, and Captain Barbossa goes, "Dead men tell no tales," and then they like drop you. So my kid was freaking out. And then I was like, it's okay, honey, it's okay. But I also was like holding the front of the ride like this, and I was getting so tensed up. Because the kid behind me was like 7, right? And he kept going like, that's not the only drop. I know there's another drop. I'm sure there's another drop on this ride. And in my head, I was like, shut the fuck up, man. And then there was like a little like boop, but there was no other big drop. But every 5 seconds, he was like, this is the big drop for sure. You know what ride you should never ride if you go to Disneyland? Do not ride Pinocchio's, the Adventures of Pinocchio. I don't know what they were, Disney must have been going through a dark age when they made that ride. It is, the story of Pinocchio, but it goes like tick, 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 zzz, 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 like it gives you a 90-degree turn every 1 millisecond, and then it's just like no context, scary images over and over. It's like you go, zzz, and it's like, yo, look for me now, Pinocchio. Then you go, I don't want to be a donkey. And you just keep like the whale, like it looks like it's gonna eat you. Instead, that one's not it. Anyway, it has been asked a little bit. Did you ride any of the Star Wars rides? We did not ride any of the Star Wars rides. The reason is because all 3 of them have a height limit. So unfortunately, we were kind of gated for at least another year or so, maybe 2 years from being able to do Rise of the Resistance, Star Tours, and Smuggler's Run. Yeah, I'm too short. By the way, that photo that I took with someone who recognized me on the first day, a lot of people are saying that I'm very short. That's not true. I'm 5'10", which is like maybe a little short, but he was 6'4", as he said and I'll be like a rude investor or whatever. He was 6'4", okay? And also, he was I'm just going to say that he knew how to take photos. Because he'd positioned himself in front of me and angled himself a little bit towards the camera. So as a result, it looked like I'm shorter than I am. And also, I have size 13 Blundstones on. So just it tricks your brain because you see such a long object at the bottom of the image. It messes with your perspective like Peter Jackson style to make it seem like I'm shorter than I am, okay? A lot of people, they don't understand physics like that. By the way, buy-sell goes insane this week. But I will say, I know, I mean, understandably so, people are like, you know, cynical about Disney. Even though we didn't do any of the rides in the Star Wars area, the Star Wars area itself, would have blown my mind when I was like 12 years old. And I mean that in a positive way. Like when you're there, you're not just going on rides. There's like, you can scan your wristband and then like they'll give you a bounty to target. And then if you use your wristband and like try to find the person who you're supposed to get, and then you get them, and then you go back and they give you some credits. You could use the credits on your phone to like buy stuff to outfit yourself. Like it's like, actually they did a really good job with that. Much better than the Pinocchio section for sure. Also, people make fun of Vancouver, and perhaps deservedly so, for, and watch this unwind right here, for not being able to handle the snow. You haven't seen snow mediocrity until you've gone to the Orange County Airport, until you've flown out of Santa Ana John Wayne International Airport during the only time that it snowed in like the last half century. The power went out in the airport 2 times. I don't even, is that a normal occurrence? We were in line for security. The power went out. We had to sit there for like 20 minutes because the dude couldn't scan our passports. And then when we ordered lunch, and then the power went out again, and the waiter came out and was like, oh, the fryers lost power. So, like, we have to, it's going to be a little bit longer for your food. And we're like, that's fine. And it was fine, because then our flight got delayed by an hour, and then it got delayed by like another 45 minutes. We ran to the gate thinking we might be a little bit late. They were like, oh, you're not at gate 14 anymore. You're at fucking gate 2, or you're not at gate 2 anymore, you're at gate 14. We run across the whole terminal, go to gate 14, see a huge crowd of people. We're like, what's going on? They're like, oh, they moved us to gate 4. Okay. Run back across the other side of the airport. It's driving me crazy, man. Then they had the audacity to text my wife. They texted her and said, we apologize, your flight's been delayed due to a security incident on the previous flight. Bullshit. I think that's just, you can always text and say, oh, there was a security problem. Because nobody's going to be like, oh, just rush it, right? Everyone's going to be like, thanks for keeping us safe. I don't buy it at all. Probably, refuse to pay their staff a living wage, so they decided not to show up today, and now they're trying to, scramble together to put together a flight crew. Did you go to the Marvel campus? I don't want to brag necessarily. But did we see Spider-Man himself? Yeah. Yeah, I think we might have seen Spider-Man himself. We made it was appointment viewing to see the part where Spider-Man flies on the Avengers campus. Because I love that video where, multiple videos where he bricks it and then just like, crashes into the building. But he did not crash. He did a nice flip and he landed okay. But what's great is that the girls next to me, there were like, I guess it's Disney, so it makes sense. There were so many like high school aged girls there for like a cheerleading competition. So there's like a group of 12 girls next to us, and one of the girls was like, how did they do that? And then the one girl was like, she's so adamant. She's like, it's a stunt man. It's not actually the actor, it's just a stunt man. And I'm like, she said it was a stunt man, and then they fired him out of a slingshot. And you're like, the dude got shot like 200 feet into the air or something, and then like crash landed on the other side of a building. And they're like, it's not a stunt man, it's a robot that fails 3% of the time, okay? Did he make the landing? I don't know if I would say that he made the landing perfectly. What I would say, sure, give me this, is that because there was a voice line after it where he said, ooh, that was not a good landing, but it didn't, like, it looked pretty clean to me. They're doing a Doberman pivot. By the way, I need to, when I record Super Auto Pets this week, I gotta record one with a Doberman, because I have a great title for a video. It's Doberman. It's so Doberman. It would totally work. -2. Okay, never mind. I will not be doing that. Hey, NL, I went to the Canucks versus Stars game last night in Dallas. Canucks went off. I don't want to talk about my team right now for a couple of reasons. One is, like, we're supposed to lose, but we keep winning. Also, in our quarter season tickets package, we had tickets to see the Bruins at Canucks game. We can't go because we're, like, away from home. So we tried to sell the tickets. The tickets did not sell. Then I go check the score when we come back from Disneyland. And we not only did we lose, which is actually good, but we got scored on by the damn goalie. It's only happened 9 times in NHL history. When I checked the box score and it was like Linus Ullmark, first goal of the season, I was like, that's the keeper, man. That's not right. It's not the way it's supposed to go. It was a great shot. I'm genuinely not, like, mad. What's the deal with Rogers Arena parking? Bro, we have public transit. I had another good joke. I was gonna take a picture of all the people in Disney California Adventure that were taking pictures of the streetcar, and I was gonna say Americans when they see public transportation. But then I thought, you know what? I don't want to. It works better in my head. But there were so many people in like Cincinnati Bengals Super Bowl loser merch that were like, "Whoa, dude, a streetcar." Anyway, 1 second. You're not a faint trigger, so we're gonna pass on you for a second. No disrespect to Ohio. Yeah, no disrespect to Ohio in many ways. Keep seeing, what's the most overrated thing at Disneyland? I don't know. Overrated? Do people like It's a Small World? Because I definitely heard people be like, we have to go on It's a Small World tomorrow because we didn't go today. And I'm like, that's definitely, if you were like excited about going on it, then you need to find God. Because it's so, I mean, I get it's a classic. It's like 60 years old, but it's so bad and boring. Matterhorn bobsled's kind of overrated. You got to defer to the boss on that one. She did all the, oh, you're a faint trigger. She did all the real roller coasters, which is actually like, it's better for me because I don't really like roller coasters. But I will say I did ride the Incredicoaster when we went to California Adventure like 5 years ago. Autopia's the worst. That was the first thing we rode, and I was like, I mean, the Autopia wasn't for me. Autopia was for my child, so that my 2-year-old could feel what it's like to drive a car, and maybe finally she would respect me. But yes, it's basically like driving a car at 6 miles an hour on a track. Also, because she was driving, I think it gave me like whiplash. Because the way that it works is like the car, you know, in the undercarriage, there's like a little barrier, so you can't go too far to the left and you can't go too far to the right. So when she was driving, I was holding the pedal down to the metal, and she was just going like dong, 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 dong. And it was like so, like it wasn't that cold. It was probably like low single digits Celsius. But I didn't bring gloves because it's like Southern California, right? It's almost Mexico. It's raining, like your hands are soaked. You're white knuckling the steering wheel. And I'm like, ah! Every time we hit the barrier, it was like my bones were rattling. It was cold, man. It was pretty chilly. And the ride is, that's not the premier ride. Well, that's what I'm saying. It was almost like I feel like you can chart the success of the Disney Corporation based on like when the rides were built. Something was fucked up between like 1983 and 2002. From like the Pinocchio ride to the Monsters Inc. ride, they were phoning it in. Every ride was like, what if the movie was a ride that you just go on like a little tour, and they're like, remember this part of the movie? Remember this part of the movie? And then the stuff that they built in the last 10 years is fucking crazy. Jay, you ever ride the Mickey Mouse Runaway Railroad ride in Toontown? You watch a little Mickey Mouse cartoon, the screen explodes, you walk through the screen, you get on a train, the train breaks apart, and all of a sudden you guys are like spinning around and going into different rooms, and then like you're getting back on the train in a different order than you started with. It's crazy. Also, I don't... It is funny to me. I enjoyed myself immensely. I had a great time. But there's a cynic deep inside of me, for sure. It's crazy to me that there were some people in Disneyland that were having the time of their lives. But then like 1 in 10 families was on the brink of complete collapse, without a doubt. I don't know. I guess it's stressful. You know what? I was meditating on it when I was doing my dadly duty of waking up at 6 a.m., taking a half-hour bowel movement, hopping in the shower, waking up, getting dressed, going out, buying coffee and juice and breakfast for everybody, walking back to our hotel room. Everybody's still asleep, sitting down in the only chair in the hotel room and silently drinking my cold brew coffee and eating a blueberry muffin before everybody wakes up. 1 kid, no sweat. 2 kids, I'm not saying it's not harder. No sweat. 3 kids. You know, in like drag races, when you're supposed to shift, when you red line and it goes, that's 3 kids. If you have 4 plus children, you are built different. You've lost your mind. You're insane. You're crazy. Families with 1 kid, picking their kids up. Hey, princess, have a fun time. Oh, sure, let's do this again. Families with 2 kids. Okay, can you take your sister on the merry-go-round? And me and your mom are just going to get something from Pim's Test Kitchen. 3 kids definitely started to be a little bit like, you look after your sister and you go on like the Goofy Sky School while we take your little sister onto the carousel. Whenever I saw a family with 4 plus kids, I was like, this is a damn nightmare. This is a complete, like, what have you done to yourself? You did, and that's the thing, is like, you did it, bro. It's not like, if you had 1 kid and then you had triplets when you went for the second, I would be like, that's a blessing, because that's what you're supposed to say, but also like, surprise, motherfucker. But then when they have like 4 kids that are 2-3 years apart each, I'm like, you did it. You went from 1 to 2 and you said, this is magical. Should we do 3? Sure, why not? Then you're like, oh, I'm so tired. You know what? Screw it. Let's do 4. What are you doing? I'm thinking about saving myself from it and just getting a vasectomy at age 18. Listen, in all honesty, I would not recommend that. I'm not going to tell you to have kids, but like, if you're 18, don't go. My personal opinion is don't go in for like surgery to. There's other ways that you can. I mean, you can use contraception, I guess. I'm not trying to make this like the talk, but you'll be fine. That being said, I might go in for a vasectomy. I'm 34. When my wife was doing like almost all of the work, I was like, dude, it'd be nice to have 2 kids. Once the kid got a little older and I'm doing a lot of the work, I'm like, no shot, dude. I don't know, maybe I'll feel differently someday, but just snip it. I don't know, we'll see. Like, there's no rush. We'll see. I'm definitely not going to let Twitch chat make the decision for me, though. I hate the fact that people are saying only children are creepy. Dude, I'm an only child. I know you're probably like, exactly, but I don't know if you felt the same way, Kate. I saw a lot of like, well, you know what's funny is that I also, like, I really feel like 1 to 2 kids was the sweet spot for happiness at Disneyland. I didn't tell you this, Kate, but when I was waiting for you next to the carousel, when you had done the Cars ride, there was like a boyfriend and girlfriend having what I would describe as the most condescending fight I've ever heard in my entire life. Now, admittedly, they were young. They were in like their early 20s maybe. But the guy was talking to his girlfriend. He's like, stop. Like, okay, I get it, but you're really going to be mad like all day? And I was like, and then she was like, I'm just going to leave. And he was like, bro, don't leave. Then she walked away and he was like, okay, fine. And then he like was just following behind her by like 3 feet. And I was like, this is not good. But felt like there were some couples that were having a great time. There were some couples that were not having a great time. And then there was like families with 1 to 2 kids. It seemed like that it's the most magical place on earth, especially if their kids were like, 2. I'm basically talking about us. And then families with like 5 kids, definitely. And I'm not saying like we would be in a different spot. I'm like, I see why you're stressed out. Like because you don't really get to have a great time at Disneyland as like a mom or a dad of 5 kids. You're managing like the future of your county, like right there, every day, every minute. One kid's always like, I'm thirsty, and another kid's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then another kid is like, I'll never go on this ride, and then another kid is like, all I want to do is go on this ride. If your kid is like super young, they're like throwing tantrums for no reason. You just give him like a little cookie. Like we had one kid, my backpack was bursting. Bibs, cookies, goldfish, so many different wet wipes, water bottles, diapers, like it's ointments and various toys that we could give her. Because 99% of the time this toy works, but sometimes she's like, "Get out of my face!" The iPad, like it's crazy. You got 5 kids. I don't know what you do. I don't know what I'm doing either. Wait a minute. We haven't really played too much SAP today so far. This is very true. iPad at Disneyland? Yeah, you know, I mean, while mom and dad are eating a Pim Meanie at Pim's Test Kitchen, like, you know, the baby needs something to do. By the way, nobody asked me about the Peloton today. Do you just assume? You just assume that I wouldn't ride because we got home like fairly late last night because John Wayne Airport can't handle a little snow? Like, don't insult me. Of course I did. I mean, it had been 4 days. Oh. So you know I did my 90 minutes. So at around 170 something watts. 30-minute Emma Lovewell classic rock ride, I think. It was all like Beatles plus Beatles solo artists. And then 30-minute Sam Yo, Low Resistance. And then 30-minute Cody Rigsby pop ride to celebrate 50 years of Australian Pride Month. I can't take Emma Lovewell's rides anymore. She's too much. What do you mean she's too much? She's too much? I'm not being facetious. What, like, she's too extra, as the kids say these days? Or is it like, no, the trumpets! Lou Bega! She is a little extra. You didn't like the 30-minute, Emma Lovewell live DJ ride? I greatly enjoyed that with DJ John Michael. Listen, like, the track list is not what I would say is like my favorite music of all time. But either way, like, the enthusiasm was getting me, man. The way DJ John Michael was pogging up for My Life Would Suck Without You by Kelly Clarkson. I think I'm being, like, radicalized to enjoy dog shit music. Did you take the T-Pain ride? Yes, I did. I love T-Pain, and I want to put respect on T-Pain's name. But I do need to say that I think that's gotta be okay, 5 wins, not 10, huh? That's gotta be probably the worst Peloton ride I've ever taken. And listen, I ain't even know it till they call me to the stage, and then you seen a man throwing that ass for days, shorty going up. I ain't got no problems, but I'm just trying to tell you, I'm a T-Pain head. I know the lyrics, the loquacious Lothario, auto-tuned or not auto-tuned. God gave him auto-tune. The man has talent, okay? That ride is not good. For my personal, what I'm looking for out of a Peloton ride, it's not, that ain't it. That's just tips. Anyway. Sorry. What was I talking about? Anyway, no, by the way, Apollo, I have not done the ride you recommended. Is it, what's the theming of the ride? Because tomorrow is I don't want to brag or anything. Tomorrow's my intervals day. So if it's an intervals ride or a Tabata ride, then I'm all in. It's a math rock ride, dude! 120-minute sunny day real estate ride. They're playing Diary 2 times in its entirety? Holy cow! 30-minute Sam Yo Smashing Pumpkins ride, but it's just the intro to Cherub Rock for an hour and a half. We don't level yet. Okay, wait, we're on 4. We're on round 4. We want to see a pineapple next round, and then perhaps even a pineapple pen. How about you go here? Take a spot right here. Oh! Oh! Never mind. Freeze me. It is crazy to me. Like, I know I tweeted about it. I hate to go back to the well. It is crazy to me that in the era of, like, almost every flight has, like, a seatback entertainment. If it doesn't have seatback entertainment, like 90% of the people on the airplane have a phone with something on it and then like Bluetooth earbuds in their purse. It's crazy to me that there are still people out there. It's all men, something baked into the Y chromosome, that when they fly, they just look at the map the whole time. Like, I do that, but why? Like, well, if you're napping, I guess I accept it. But if you're like, there's a dude a row in front of us on the airplane yesterday. He put the map on before takeoff, and then he just sat there like this, like with his elbows on his thighs the whole flight. And you're like, it's not that interesting. We're driving like almost a straight line from California to British Columbia. Maybe it's, you know what? Maybe I do have adult onset ADHD. Because when I'm on a flight, like Kate and I watched a movie together. But if I was alone on the flight, I would put on a movie and I would put that on the like seat back headphones. And then I would also be playing something on my phone simultaneously and probably like tapping my foot, probably going like, and it would be like, I don't know. When we landed, I would be like 10 hours already. It went by so fast. I play Super Auto Pets Mobile on my flights. Oh, really? Because your phone's supposed to be in airplane mode. Thanks for keeping your communications on so that we can all crash and die, just so you can get a 10-piece. I really appreciate it. In-flight Wi-Fi? Oh, okay. Well, clearly you guys don't fly much Air Canada. We're still trying to work out that technology up here. Also, I'm being a hater for no reason. I don't put my phone into airplane mode anymore. It's one of those things where I'm like, I know the FAA mandates it, but like, fuck you. If it caused difficulties with flights, that shit would be falling out of the sky nonstop. People are like so bad at following instructions. There's no way. You can't convince me that it has any effect. Because people... I mean, if you see... I know we go through this all the time. I was losing my mind. By the way, little tip for you. If you want to get on an airplane early, have a child. I hadn't flown with a stroller. It's crazy easy. First off, you can check the stroller for free. So you go to the gate, you just take your kid out of the stroller, they take it, put it in the plane, you get off the plane, they give you your stroller back. For free for now. Also, some airports apparently, if you come through with a stroller, they're like, you don't have to wait in that long-ass security line. We got a special line for families with strollers because we need like extra wide lanes or something like that. So we got to skip a bunch of lines because we had a stroller. So I was like, this is a damn dream come true. Then we're at John Wayne Airport. They say we'd like to invite families with small children to board the airplane now. Listen. I saw some people, kids were 5, 6, maybe 7. I'm not going to be the squeaky wheel. Go ahead. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back, okay? But we were trying to get into the line to see the gate agent because we got a small kid. And then there was like a woman in front of us who walked up to the front, and the gate agent said, "Are you traveling with a small child?" And she said, "Oh, no." And they said, "Okay, please step to the side." And she gave him a look like, lady, they make the announcements 100 times each, and everybody's at the gate like 40 minutes before boarding. You literally have to listen to one sentence. On your boarding pass is zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Literally, you just have to wait until you hear a number, and then you get in line. It's okay. You just got to pay attention for like a brief moment. It happens every time. And also, like, 75% of the people on the flight do it. It's madness. The only people you see sitting down at the gate instead of lining up 40 minutes before they're supposed to get on the plane are like business travelers. If you see I'm going off here, okay? Anybody here travel for work? Why the hell are you so tall? The people that are traveling in business class are actually taller than the average like NBA basketball player. Have you seen this? If you see a dude with like an Indiana Jones style satchel, I promise you, and there's a laptop in there and he's talking on the phone all the time. He's drinking 7 beers at 8 a.m. In the only restaurant in that terminal in the airport, but he's still holding it together. Guarantee he's going to be like 6'8", 290. It's crazy. Why? There's so many tall people at the airport, man. Somebody's really got to investigate this. Do you have strong ankles because you have such big feet on such a small frame? I don't think you mean this to have scary energy, but this is very scary phrasing on this. I don't know. I don't know if I have strong ankles. Maybe. I don't think you meant anything by it, but anyway, the answer is no. Like, I have horrible balance. Hey, when was it? I forgot how much has gone on since the last stream. I had my doctor, the nurse, come to my house, take my blood and urine. I'm happy to report that despite working in what I personally would describe as the world's most stressful job, hang on, this is a big moment for us. Oh! Hey, and Steponitis? Step on me, Queenitis. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Despite having the most stressful job on the planet, source, dude, just trust me. My blood pressure is normal, which is an improvement. It used to be borderline. And, listen, I haven't gotten the results back, but when she took my vitals, she said, I can tell you have a strong heart. Which, honestly, was just the kind of, it's the human warmth that I needed before going to Disneyland. Well, hold on, I'm bad at the game. That's 6. Psycho energy? It's not psycho. She said, don't worry, I can tell you have a strong heart. I was like, oh. Also, I mean to flex a little bit here, okay? 31-inch waist. I'm still got it. I was hoping to be at a 30, but I'll take 31, even with the grapefruit sculpins. Because I gotta be a little honest. I was a little offended when both Chibli and Apollo said that I'm an otter. Like, it's not the culture that I'm a part of to begin with, but were I a part of the culture, I don't think I'm an otter. I'll be a tasty carrot. Like, why have I been doing so much cardio and eating so many salads to become an otter? Like, that wasn't my aspiration. It just means you're hairy. Yeah, but I can change if I have to, I guess. You can't choose what you are? What are you talking about you can't choose what you are? I thought that was like half the thing, is you can be whatever you want. Because you're on the right track, baby. I was born this way. Something, there's no other way. Something, I was born this way. Sorry, once there was a kid. You don't have a hurt trigger. That's my mistake on that one. That was not very smart. Got into an accident and couldn't come to school, but when he finally came back, sorry, his hair had turned from red into bright white. Couldn't quite explain it, they'd always just gone there. Anyway, what a song, man. We measured out, measured in, coffee spoons. I got nothing. I got no other banter today, which is kind of crazy. T.S. Eliot. Okay, I get it. I'm not an otter either. I'm just a guy. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand here. You know what's also crazy? Listen. As non-politically as possible, why do so many people at Disneyland think it was the appropriate place to wear all their Thin Blue Line merch? Or is it just that they only own Thin Blue Line merch? And also a long sleeve sweatshirt of the college that maybe they went to, but definitely they support the football team. That's normal, Orange County? I didn't know. I honestly, I'm not super familiar with the demography of Orange County. I am super familiar with the weather. It's crazy that like a place on Earth can rain so much and have so little sun. When I was in Disneyland Paris, everyone was wearing One Piece merch for no discernible reason. Well, I can think of one reason, because it's real. Right, Apollo? We're still saying that. This is really only interesting to my wife and myself, but it kind of is crazy. Like, every time we come back to Vancouver, it's snowing. And it like, very rarely snows in Vancouver in the average year. But, like, all 3 times that we have left the city, we have returned to, like r/Vancouver posts that are like, please do not drive today. Look at the intersection outside of my house. And it's just, like, overturned cars and stuff. Even when we were driving back last night, we stopped in to get some takeout pho. There was an officer that was like directing traffic. He was basically mimicking the role of the traffic light, but he had to do it because there was a car that had crashed into, like, I don't even know what, like a piece of construction equipment or something like that, and was smoldering. It was like literally like, I mean, it was snowing, but it wasn't bad. I was kind of surprised at I mean, I guess at this point I shouldn't be surprised that, like, people in Vancouver can't drive in the snow, but people are, like, losing their mind. I honestly thought there was a chance we couldn't stream today, because I dropped my daughter off at daycare. Okay, congrats, you got a penguin and a seal. Like, get a life. No offense or whatever. But, like, I parked on the street, no problem, dropped my daughter off at daycare, and then, like, a big semi-truck pulled up alongside of me, and it's on, like, a small hill. And they stopped at a 4-way stop, and then they started to accelerate to go through the intersection, and the truck just went shh, like it slid over to almost hit my car. And then they hit the brakes and let, like, a couple more cars go first, and then they threw it in reverse for like a millisecond, and then they threw it into drive and went and then they got a little traction. But for a brief moment, I was like, this is going to ruin my day. By the way, I don't say this just to flex, but got recognized at Disneyland, 9:45 a.m. Did not get recognized at Disney California Adventure, but that's okay. How am I supposed to compete with T'Challa, right? But then yesterday at the hotel, I was just standing with 7 backpacks on and 4 suitcases, and somebody came up to me and said, "Are you Northern Lion?" And then we took a photo. It's very good for the ego. Anytime I get recognized, I feel like I must be doing something right, even though there's also a strong chance that in their head they're probably like, I used to watch your Isaac videos back in the day. That's okay. I understand. That's true. Isaac had no camera, though. Honestly, you're kind of like my therapist. Honestly, with no disrespect, that kind of makes no sense. Unless, like, why is your therapist doing all the talking? Like, if I was paying $200 for a 45-minute session, I would at least want to, get a word in edgewise without being insulted. It was always like... The hell, my therapist called me a fucking idiot for trying to explain something to them, and then actually it turns out I was right in the first place, and they said, sorry, I guess. My therapist went off on me for misremembering events from the 2012 film Prometheus. My chat went off on me for accidentally stuttering when I said misremembering. I'm gonna sell you. I'm gonna become the Tiger King here. You know what the world could really use right now is more Joe Exotic. You think? What do you think about that? Yes or no to more Joe Exotic? No? Okay, why? You don't like... Oh, you do like wild animals, and you hate seeing them mistreated. Okay, and also the people that administer them. Oh, okay, well, you know what? I think it's Just a classic, like, different strokes for different folks sort of thing. Look at that. Who would win in a fight? Joe Biden or Joe Exotic? Exotic? No. The real answer is the viewer. Oh, okay. I see you have two 50-50s. And the 34-26 level 2 Sabertooth. Okay, yeah, no problem. No problem. We actually came pretty close there. You have two 50-50s? Yeah, but I'm the observer. So I feel like I should, you know. Well, like when I do it, it's okay. Like Richard Nixon committing crimes in office. When the president does it, it's not illegal. Oh, a 10-piece. Who would have thought? It happened. Also, we need to stop running advertisements before the flight takes off. Are people ready for this take yet? There are two unskippable advertisements that ran after the safety presentation on Air Canada. One of them is for Purpose Investments, and that dude has been running ads for like 15 years. Like, I think the first flight I ever took in my entire life. Same dude. It used to be called like Safe Investments or something like that. He's been running these ads as long as I've been a frequent flyer, essentially. And the second ad was for like a venture capital company. Bro, I'm sitting in like 15E in economy class. These ads cannot be profitable. What's the ROI on running venture capital ads to economy class on like a 2.5-hour flight from Santa Ana to Vancouver? It's got to be fucking less than zero. It's got to be low. Like, I just don't understand, like, what are they doing? Is it like a producer's thing where they're like, if we have to spend this money or we lose it or something? Also, how are you still affording the ads? Aren't we at like 6.5% interest or something? True, that's pretty Joel. Did Canada ban TikTok? I don't know. I haven't looked at the news today. I'm gonna say yes, just because I think it would be funny to be right or wrong. You know what? Let's throw a royal flycatcher out here. I don't know. It could. I don't think that too many people are running summoning teams, but if they are, it'll be funny. They banned it on government devices. Guy who only watches problematic news channels. Wait, I thought they were all government devices. Guy who only such as. Okay, no, nothing. All right, fair enough. I'm working on my tight 5. Here's my impression of every documentary on Netflix. It was just a town where, like, you said hello to people. Everyone knew each other. It was the perfect place to raise a family. But the idyllic exterior hid a dark reality that once manifested, shook this town to its core. She just lit up the room. Anytime she walked into a room, you were like, there she is. There's Debbie. Hold on, I'm trying to work it again. I'm trying to work it. Here's my impression of the first 1 minute of the first 10 seconds of every Netflix documentary about the worst murder in American history. We met at a bar, and I was just coming. I'm sorry, I don't know where this is going. And we were so in love until one day. Like, she was friends with everyone. Hang on, where am I going with this? Get this man out of the kitchen. I'm sorry. Keep in mind, I haven't told like any jokes in the last few days. It's actually like traveling is so easy to be funny because you just like find someone in the airport who's doing something and then you go, look at this guy. Anybody else a fan of observational humor, such as seeing someone in the airport do something that you wouldn't do and then going, look at this idiot? Who you voting for in the Streamer Awards this year? Dude, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I fell off bigly. Can you believe it? Last year, I was nominated for Strategy Gamer of the Year, which I think is a pretty good indication of, like, my brand. I'm probably one of the most well-known strategy gamers on the planet. And then I watched the Streamer Awards, and I was like, I wonder if I'm going to win. And then when they were like, best strategy gamer goes to, you know, they have like the 4 panel of all the nominees. The other 3 nominees were wearing suits live at the event. My ass was watching in my office. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to win this one, guys. I think I came to terms with that one 5 seconds before they opened the envelope. What do you think is crueler on American Idol? When somebody sucks at singing and they say, you're not going to Hollywood, and then they cry? Or when somebody is good at singing but clearly not good enough to win, but then they say, you're going to Hollywood, even though they know their ass is never making it to the final 30? It's got the first, why? Because they say things like, get off the stage, you talentless hack. Free trip, though? Yeah, but it's a trip to Hollywood. I mean, like, Los Angeles, it's not my favorite city in the world, but, like, at least there's some value. But Hollywood? I mean, like, come on. What are you going to do, take a picture with your favorite actor's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? To go back to your hotel room and order some DoorDash? Like... Did you see that Ludwig played City Car Driving? What can I say? You know, if I had to say, I would say I am a little bit ahead of the curve. Is that what you're implying? We never said that? Yeah, but I would say I'm an innovator. He drove drunk in the game. I will accept no belly aching about that being problematic. I think that's a harmless and very fun stream idea. Is have him do a driving test in city car driving sober, then have him do one after 2 beers, then have him do one after 6 beers, then have him do one after 12 beers. The only reason it would be a problem is if he was better at 12 beers than he was with 0. But that's the thing, right? Like, this is why there's no such thing as one-size-fits-all policy. You have to... No, you should not drunk drive. But if we really wanted to be honest, you should take 2 driving tests. You should take a sober driving test and the drunk driving test. And if you do better on the drunk driving test, it should be illegal for you to drive sober. Does this make sense? Are we cooking? Not cook. The bro is on to nothing. Do not let him cook. Get this man out of the kitchen. You have hidden talent. Let's keep it hidden. This is so rude. There's no need for all this rudeness. I did not see Ludwig's Valorant team play yesterday. That's because I think the only thing more boring than watching my friends play Valorant and only say things like, he's mid, please rotate, is watching people I don't know play Valorant, and they'll be like, Dignitas is rotating mid because they saw someone. Viper's smoking loud next to Chassis. He's your bro, though? He doesn't know me. Hang on. It's the perfect pivot. It's the perfect pivot. If I was rooting for any Valorant team to win, it would be the team that Ludwig owns. For sure. But I think, like, I treat Valorant the same way, like, you know, Americans treat Eurovision. Which is, like... I don't know where this is shaping up to be, like, a little Bow Wow from Fast and the Furious 3 Tokyo Drift. Japanese food is like the military. Don't ask, don't tell. Me, when I'm served a fish that looks like a fish, some rice, and some vegetables. Japanese food is like the military. Don't ask, don't tell. Me, when I'm served a processed pink sludge chicken nugget A bunch of rigatoni on the side and like half a banana. Now we're talking. Shut up, little Bow Wow. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Have you ever taken a dab? I don't believe that I have. I think my days of reckless cannabis consumption were over before the dab was invented. Or at least before it made it to the region of the world that I lived in. I don't think that dabs existed until maybe like 2009, something like that. It's really, I kind of miss and again, as a non-partaker, at least for the most part, I miss the era when pot was not legal in Vancouver, but it was like the police didn't do anything about it. There used to be like little, I don't even know how to describe it. There used to be like weed farmers markets, like really sketchy, like craft tables would be set up. And you would always see like 55-year-old dudes selling dabs to like 14-year-old kids in the park right outside of the train station and stuff like that. It was a wild west, man. Those were the days, probably. Then they shut it down and I had to find a new revenue stream. That's when we started streaming a lot more. Hang on, I'm cooking. I'm cooking. That's not what I wanted to cook at all! Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah. I can't feel my face. So true. Me too. I can't feel my face. You got a level 2 Doberman. I got a level 2 Doberman. You got a level 2 emu. I got a level 1 emu. I'm not sweating it or whatever. Go ahead, push him up. See if I care. You really think he won't push me up against the wall? You piece of shit. You piece of fucking shit. Oh, never mind. We're okay. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say I don't like any Red Hot Chili Peppers songs. Like, I have a soul. I like a bass line. Huge? Not huge? Huge? Huge. It's huge. We're still alive. Like, I can get down with a dong dang dang dugga dugga dong dugga dong 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 dugga dugga dong dugga dong 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 dugga dugga dong dugga dong 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 dugga dong dong, but this, you know? But not much else. They have like 15 albums. Yeah, I know, and like 13 and a half of them are, in my opinion, not very good. I've also only heard like 2 of them, but I've heard the good ones. The fuck? Is this allowed? My ass is dead, for sure. He's cooking! 4 wins. Not great. I would love to hear Sufjan Stevens do a collaboration with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think, honestly, it's a natural set of bedfellows when he inevitably gets around to doing his California album. They could sing a song about San Diego together. I think the Elden Ring DLC will be about Marika or Michaela. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because I did sign something. As with most contracts, I didn't read it. It's something called a non-disclosure agreement. I'm here to tell you, it's a world exclusive. You ready? The Elden Ring DLC will be about Pamela, Sandra, Hannah, and Rita. And as I continue, you know it's getting sweeter. So what can I do? I really thank you, my lord. For me, something is just like a sport. I don't remember this, but the trumpet. A little bit of Monica in my life. Ha! Is there this is a genuine question. I don't know if we've ever touched on this before. Is there genuinely a good song that has instructions for how to dance in the middle of it? The Elmo slide does not count. Because I don't think, no disrespect, I don't think Mambo Number 5 is a good song. One of the reasons I think it's not a good song is because in the middle of it, they say jump up and down. Hands on the ground, move your hands to the sound, move your hands on the ground. You take a 1 step left, don't tell me how to enjoy myself. I can figure it out for myself. Or even better, maybe I won't. I'll accept the time warp. Jump around. There's no point of jump around. Because if Lou Bega wrote jump around, he wouldn't go jump, jump. It would be like, bend your knees, da, da, da. Now extend your legs, dun, dun, dun. Clap your hands, dun, dun, dun. Extend your knees. You know, like it would be like that. It would be like a Curtis Blow rap song, also known as the most gangster rap song of the 1980s. Now bend your other leg. Touch your toes. Now wiggle your nose. Like that's how you know you're writing a song that's only going to be played like at weddings. Stand by REM. I do like that song. I didn't know it was so danceable now that I think about it. REM, honestly, when we're talking about underrated bands, REM heavily underrated for sure. You never hear anybody talk about them anymore. Now again, high highs and a long tail of mediocrity, I'll admit, but everything from Murmur to like Automatic for the People is gas, dude. They are now one-hit wonders. They were like one of the biggest bands of the 1990s. They've been erased. They've been unbanded. They are so much better than the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm gonna cancel this rest of the stream. I'm gonna log off. Out here saying Red Hot Chili Peppers are better than REM. What the hell are you talking about? They're equal? Bro, REM has nothing that's even close to Murmur. And then, Red Hot Chili Peppers have nothing that's even close to Murmur. Oh, you piece of crap. Shiny Happy People doesn't count? That's actually, it's probably considered one of the worst songs from when they were good. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're not even talking about The Passion. You're not even talking about, Radio Free Europe or anything like that. You know just enough to know that you don't know anything. Who's your favorite bad band? Now that's a great question. A band that I would think is hated. A band that is actually bad, but I like them. Good question. Smash Mouth? No, they're too bad for me to enjoy, quite frankly. Nickelback? Do not enjoy them. Weezer? I don't know if I would count Weezer, because the only Weezer that I listened to was Weezer when they were still good. I never put on like a Weezer song from 2009 and go like, oh, I'm being so bad right now. Ooh, I turn that shit off and I put on, the Blue Album or Pinkerton. I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm trying. It's probably something from the 90s, if I had to guess. It's the era where I was young, but I grew up listening to it on the radio. AC/DC? No, I would never willfully choose to listen to AC/DC. There's probably some bad bands that I would choose to listen to. Hey, here's one for you. This is deep from my soul. There's something about I Get Wet by Andrew WK. But like this, I think this answer has become invalid because Andrew WK had like a late career renaissance where everyone likes him. But if I said that in like 2008, people would have been like, Andrew WK? Fucking really? But now like they like him a lot. I had diamond hands on my Andrew WK during a bear market for sure. I had a roommate in college who was like a total dickhead. And I remember, maybe nostalgia is a funny thing. He would wake me up. Like, I didn't have class some days until like 10 a.m. He was an engineer. Engineers know you're built different. Like, you guys could... Dude, people don't understand the life of an engineer is so hard compared to the life of, like, any other student in university. My impression of you... I gotta start class at 10. My impression of an engineer, holy fuck, I gotta start class at 9. Oh, this is so hard. Nobody on earth knows how hard this is. Oh. Anyway, so sometimes, and we were kids back then, I'm not blaming him. I mean, literally, we were like 17. Some days when he woke up early for his classes, he would just put She Is Beautiful by Andrew WK on his fucking computer speakers, like as loud as possible. Catch my ass at like, because he would wake up at like 6:15 a.m. to take a 55-minute long shower at 2 in the morning. My ass is 6 in the morning. Anyway, you get the idea. That's the end of the story? Well, yeah, like, I mean, that's actually the story was about why I have some nostalgia for Andrew WK. It wasn't just a non sequitur dropped out of nowhere. I would like to get the tiger leveled up. Ooh, ask and ye shall receive. We're going off. Somebody wanted to know what going yard is. This is going yard right here. We just went yard. Favorite celebrity chef, and why is it Alton Brown? I would say I'm very pro Alton Brown. I know he made those drunk tweets. They were not as bad as Roseanne's Ambien tweets. And Good Eats is like a goated show. So I am still pro Alton Brown. At least if he's cooking. In the kitchen, not on the computer. I'm not a DVR guy. Like, if a sport has already taken place, I'm just looking up the result. I'm not gonna lie to myself. I'm not gonna sit there like a fool and pretend I'm watching a race live and then like or a hockey game or something like that. I got shit to do. If it's on, that's like a nice excuse for me. I could be like, oh, I don't need to do like a chore right now. The game's on. And then catch me like, oh, the game's on, turning up the TV and then going to do dishes for like 25 minutes. But like a live sporting event being taped or recorded and then watched back later with like in a Faraday cage so nobody accidentally spoils like game 63 of the regular season. No shot, man. It's just not, that's like you do you, but that's not, I'm not living my life like that. By the way, thanks to the VOD viewers. I love you. Wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be the way I would spend my time, but thank you so much for the support. Yeah, but listen, I accept myself as background noise. Don't get me wrong. Background noise is important. Weirdly enough. Something wrong with the human brain, I think. You're like, oh, I have so much work to do, but I can't do work. I can't even get started on my work until I find the perfect the video to watch to completely ignore. Spend 20 minutes being like, no, I don't want to see this. Okay, Tarkov, no thanks. Maybe I'll go to Netflix. Oh, nothing good on Netflix. Okay, fine. Maybe there's something on Disney. I could just put The Simpsons on Disney Plus or something like that. Then my ass is. You remember anything that happened in the last 50 minutes? Nope, not at all. But I couldn't have done it without you though, for some reason. By the way, I'm not asking for too much applause. Not from Thursday, the last time you saw me, till today. Had my nurse appointment, gave blood and urine, no sweat. We went to Costco. It was busy. We handled it. It was no big deal. Woke up at 5 a.m. on Friday. Me and my wife got the baby up, got ready, early flight to Southern California. Spent the weekend at Disney parks. I'm not saying that was, hard, but we did walk 10 miles a day. Flew back from the airport yesterday. The whole time I was, we're at the airport, I'm sending emails to my accountant. He's like, you need to sign this right now. Hey, can you go over this spreadsheet right now? I'm like, sure. I'm 2 IPAs deep at Ruby's Diner in the Santa Ana airport, but it seems important. I'm doing this over my phone. I'm e-signing documents. Came back, my mom's birthday, talked to my mom this morning. It's been a busy 4 or 5 days here, and I'm still out here getting 5-piece wins in SAP, okay? I'm doing okay, though. Plus, it's a damn blizzard, man. It actually has snowed more than I thought it would. Had to watch a goalie goal against me. Go to try to sit down at a restaurant in downtown Disney. Hey, party of 3. Oh, yeah, we could fit you in 173 minutes. Can you give us your phone number so we can text you when your table's ready? Yeah, it's no problem. I know I'm Disney pill, but downtown Disney has some great restaurants. I'm not the expert on Californian cuisine, okay? But I will say I had some fish tacos that I would say were the best fish tacos I've ever had in my life. This is an interesting build you got here. But then we ate at like the Bill Walton's Jazz Kitchen or whatever. And I was like, this is pretty good too. The only thing that I found that was annoying was like so many restaurants are like, please mobile order. I've never felt older than trying to mobile order food at Disneyland. So I make my mobile order and it says, okay, so it's 2 p.m. It says make your order for 2:45. I'd rather just make my order right now personally, but I get that there's like a lot of people that also want to get food. So I make my order. Boom, boom, boom. I'll have some chicken teriyaki. Boom, boom, boom. I'll have a chicken Caesar wrap. They're like, okay, don't come to the restaurant yet. At 2:40, come to the restaurant and hit a button that says, I'm here. So catch my ass just milling about. 2:40 runs around. It changes on my app. It says, please tell us you're here. I'm here. Then they say, okay, we're going to prepare your food now. Excuse me. I thought I was supposed to be here at 2:40. Instead, my ass was just killing time for no reason. The button should not say I'm here. The button should say, please start preparing my food. I'll be there in 10 minutes. And then I'm like, hey, I'm here for my 2:40. And they're like, oh yeah, here's your food. And it's in a canvas bag. I thought that was like a reservation where we would like sit down. I got the whole family here with like our winter coats on, getting ready to dine at Trader Sam's Tiki Bar. Anyway. I found myself being like, let's just do things the old way. I always hit the button 10 minutes before I get there. Well, you know what I think happened? Because people are not stupid. At least the system designers are not stupid. I bet they were like, hey, and then when they designed it, they were like, and then when people are here, they'll hit the button and then you'll give them the food. But then I bet people like you were like, I'm going to say I'm here even when I'm not here. And then you like go up, by the way, thank you Rex Mechanica for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. So I bet some of you were like, I'll just hit the button and I'll be at the restaurant in 15 minutes. And then you go to the restaurant 10 minutes late and they're like, your food's cold, idiot. So they had to go in and they changed the app to make it work for the chronically late amongst us. Sussy. So true. I'm just, well, the other thing, I really thought that, here's the thing. I made that tweet yesterday. Feel so violated. A dude at this restaurant just looked at my food when he was ordering and then ordered something else. That was basically the tweet. Originally, the way I drafted up the tweet is, it makes me feel weird when I'm eating at a restaurant and someone looks at my food and then they order the same thing. But I was trying to figure out the right way to get the delivery down. It's like, because I hate being a millennial and starting all my jokes with, don't you hate it when... You know, I was at the restaurant the other day and this guy... I want to be more Gen Z pilled and I want to type tweets that are like, I want to smoke the shit that made Calvin Coolidge. But it's hard, man. It's not easy. It's not easy to do. Like, I was at this restaurant the other day, and this guy, he was ordering his food. He looked right at what I was eating, and he said, I'll have the chicken Caesar wrap. I mean, I felt so violated. I was eating fish and chips at the time. Like, it's something like that could... New restaurant! You know what's a great... I don't know if you're still here, Jay. You know what's a... I might be the only person who thinks this. Genuinely speaking, I swear to you that this is not a bit. I think my favorite ride at Disneyland might have been Jungle Cruise. Which is literally just a little boat ride, and with corny jokes over top for like 15 minutes. There's no thrills whatsoever. It's just corny joke after corny joke after corny joke. And I was like, I was dying, dude. We had an amazing skipper. I also think that I mean, what I'm about to say is a little bit rude. I don't think that everybody on the boat knew that Jungle Cruise was self-aware. So there were people like looking at each other like, what's wrong with our skipper? Like, he seems so over it. Like, all of his jokes are so... I think they thought it was going to be like Universal Studios Jaws ride, where like the shark was going to pop out and there'd be like explosions and stuff. It made it even funnier. Then he was like, is anyone here from out of town? And nobody put up their hand. And then eventually he was like, how about you guys? And they're like, we're from Sacramento. And he said, have you ever been to the Sacramento Railway Museum? And they went, no. And he said, what's wrong with you? And then he said, I don't know if I should have said that to the guests. And I was dying, man. I was like, this guy's like, he's great. He's... Because everywhere else at Disneyland is like, you're a star, you're a stud, you're a rich man, you're daddy's little princess, here's a turkey leg, here's a churro, Mickey Mouse wants to take your photo, and he's got a pantomimes, oh. And then that place was like, Jungle Cruise was like, shut up and fucking sit down, eat shit, we hate you. And I was like, let's go! Jungle Cruise staffers, easily the funniest people in the park. Love to hear. I'm glad I'm not the only person who liked Jungle Cruise. They should really rip out all of the boat rides, though, except Jungle Cruise. Pinocchio. Peter Pan can stay. Peter Pan was pretty cool. Little Mermaid can go. I guess Pirates can stay. It's a little scary for me. It's a little too intense. Storybook Canal can go. Finding Nemo Expedition Submarine can go. It's a Small World can definitely go. Pinocchio's a boat ride. Well, it's kind of, you know, I think you get on a boat that's on a track. By the way, is it the Florida Splash Mountain that is so racist they had to redo the ride? Because I did not ride Splash Mountain. I took the baby out for a nap, and Kate rode Splash Mountain. Both of them are racist. Okay. Jungle Cruise? Jungle Cruise didn't seem that racist. It's a Small World had some parts of it where I was like, I bet that this ride looked a lot different in 1962. Like, I don't want to know what parts of It's a Small World look like in 1962. But I did love, like, at the end of It's a Small World, where they have, like, the Native American and the cowboy, like, holding hands and dancing together. I mean, if they can get along with each other, what's our excuse, man? Now, I'm not a huge history buff. I don't know if that's really how it went down on the American frontier. Seem to recall maybe some atrocities and driving all the livestock to extinction or something. And then, but like the important thing is that as of 1962, they're over it and they're like holding hands and dancing together at the end of the It's a Small World After All ride. Which, you know, I'm not a Native American or a cowboy, so I do think it's my place to say that I think that's good of them. Can I also say, and you got to give us some, you got to give me some leeway to work with this one, okay? Because it's not going to be anybody's favorite bit to start with. Disneyland, and this, I'm not trying to gatekeep Disneyland at all, because that's just ridiculous. But Disneyland, Japan, does a much better job of creating atmosphere of magic than Disneyland California. And I'm going to tell you why. In California, like half of the staff members have drank the Kool-Aid and they're like, we're making this magical. And half of the staff members are like, bro, fucking go. Like, we had one situation where like we walked up to like the gate of the ride. And the girl was like, how many of you are there? We said 3. And she said, okay, wait here, please. And then a half second later, she said 1. And we went, what? And then she said 1. And then I said 3. And she said, no, row 1, please. And then we're like, oh, sorry. You just told us to wait, but I guess I'll fuck off. And by the way, I'm not hating on her. I'm sure that shit is like annoying. And also you're standing there for 10 hours and like the weather sucked and you're dealing with people that are not really paying attention and they're like, you gotta keep the rides going. It's like doing the McDonald's drive-thru. It's like, we only got 94 Pinocchio boats through this hour. That's like a bronze. If you want to get your bonus for today, then this quarter, you got to get at least 103 boats in. Anyway. But in Japan, that shit does not happen. Or maybe it's because I don't speak Japanese. But it seems like everybody, like under punishment of physical harm or losing employment, everybody is like endeavoring to make your day as magical as possible, which as the customer is really nice. As the worker, I would definitely not be surprised to hear that it's a little bit soul crushing. Or at least, trying to think of maybe a better word for it. You know, I'm going to buy it. I can't believe it. And I kind of enjoy being condescended to, as long as it... When I'm condescended to by a patron, like, that's fighting words. When I'm condescended to by staff, I'm like, you got me, I'm a piece of shit. So, like, I don't hold it against them. You rolled past the level with a level 2 jellyfish? You're not staff, so shut up. If you worked at Twitch, I would be like, so true. I'm a piece of shit. But you're just literally, you're in the muck with me? Shut your mouth. See? Because they're paid more in Japan? Listen, I don't know if that's true. I think even if you paid me $1 million a year, I would probably insult some guests at Disneyland if I worked there. It wouldn't matter whether I was a ride operator or I was giving tours to the weekend on a Tuesday. I would definitely, I would reach a moment where I would be like, yeah, I would probably get written up. I had another tweet that I thought could go crazy, which is, I bet the flight attendant group chats go crazy. Anybody here work as flight crew? Because you're dealing with people that are entitled or not paying attention or think that they're mommy's special person or intoxicated or, you know, otherwise preoccupied and stressed out. They've been on flights all day. I bet in the group chat there is some shit that would get you thrown in prison. I bet every message in the group chat, it's like Cassandra is typing, but it's like the typing goes on for like 15 minutes. And you're like, this is going to be good. You wouldn't believe the patron that I had on the flight today. And then he said, really? And then I said, sir, you can't be in the galley. And then he tried to pee with the door open. There must be, dude. The flight attendant group chats must go insane. I think I could go pro in Pokemon Sleep. I'm actually like crazy good at... Well, here's the thing. Some people might say like this is bad from like a health and safety perspective. I think Pokemon Go would be, or Pokemon Sleep would be better if they rewarded you for waking up early. I understand that's not very PC in the modern day to say something like that, but like I don't necessarily get 8 hours a night, but I mean. On vacation, I was up at like 5:45 every day. Let's just see how badly I lose this round. My vulture. Look out for my next single. It's called My Vulture. Yeah, we lose. But like because it's a hotel, there was no outlets near the end tables for some reason. So the only outlet I could plug my phone charger in was on like the other side of the room. So before bed, I would like start a podcast, put my phone on the charger, and then go to sleep. So then I was raw dogging the wake up. We have blackout curtains and stuff like that. I was going to sleep and I'm just waking up when I think it's roughly my wake up time because I didn't want to have an alarm on my phone and then have to run across the room and my baby and my wife are going to wake up. So I would just woke up when I thought it was time. Sometimes I'd wake up and say, not yet. And I'd go back to sleep for 15 minutes. Every day I was hitting 5:45 to 6:15. It was I'm like a damn metronome, man. So I think I could go pro, honestly. Have you heard that Asmongold used to use a dead rat in his wall as an alarm clock to wake himself up due to the smell. This can't be true. Because wouldn't it... It just doesn't hold up to the first principles. Why would something that always smells bad be an alarm clock? Doesn't it universally smell terrible? Oh, it's because when the sun hit the rat, it started to smell more. Cavemen who had to wake up for work in the year negative 93,000 be like, check it out, guys, I got a new invention. Here's the thing, though. You know what's ingenious about that? Is there's no snooze button. So even if you don't want to get up, you can't be like, oh, just 10 more minutes. Unless, what happens if it's cloudy, though? Oh, no. Then I know it's gonna be a cloudy day. A cloudy day. So my wife's having her remote Japanese lesson right now. Probably like, what the hell's going on? When I wake up in the afternoon and the sunlight hits my rat, then something that smells scary, dude, wakes me from my nap. Then I sniff at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one sniff of you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. Sorry. I'm gonna play some Sporcle. Oh, is this some kind of prank? So a brown van just pulled up at my house, left a package on my patio, and then knocked on the door. What is this? Like some kind of... It's like the brown van leaves a package at your door prank and then knocks. Hang on 1 second. I'm at the E-door, let me in. Hey, Chibli, I watched the menu. Okay. I watched the menu and I enjoyed it. Thought it was a biting satire of the self-congratulatory nature of haute cuisine. Thought they did a great job satirizing the kinds of patrons you see at a high-class restaurant. Who am I? I'm the guy who gets the bread without bread and says, I wish that there was some bread, but I gotta say, it's pretty tasty. I am not the guy operating fake offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands. Who told you that? Same, Nope was good. I think you gotta respect Jordan Peele for a lot of different reasons, but one of the reasons you gotta respect him is that his movies have an objective order to them. Like, Get Out is the best. Full stop. Us is the worst. Nope is in the middle. I still think Us is like, it's worth watching. You have to respect him for getting worse over time? What are you talking about? He got worse between the first one and the second one, and then he got better for the third one. He's batting 1,000. There's been no baddies. I think Us is a little better. It's crazy to me. I thought I was like the only one who respected Us. Hey, here's a good TikTok for you, Chibli. I know you're big on TikTok. Here it is, okay? My favorite Jordan Peele movies are Get Out and Nope. And then is it a song by Pink that goes, what about us? My reaction when someone tells me that their favorite Jordan Peele movies are Get Out and Nope. What about us? That dude, well, look at the +2s. It's going crazy. People are loving it, dude. Hang on, okay. Spotify, what about us? No offense, but like, who would actually listen to this song? Like, you have to be in a really like bad place in your life, I think, to look. Spotify, can you please play What About Us by Pink? I've had a hell of a day. Man, fuck you if you're sad or something. I don't know. I didn't really think about it. My reaction when people say their favorite Jordan Peele movies are Get Out and Nope. Hang on. This is behind the scenes. You know, Twitter has done a lot of algorithmic changes that are bad. I've never muted as many people as I know who people are now because their tweets get surfaced in my algorithm like every day, and then I mute them. Like people are just like I've followed whole arcs from strangers that just get surfaced in my For You page for some reason. But anyway, one of the great things that it's done is show me lots of videos of LeBron James, even though I know nothing about basketball. You ever see the video of LeBron James and 2 Chainz, where LeBron James invents the concept of the double album? And he says, so we put out the album, and then like 1 or 2 weeks later, and then he goes up to the whiteboard and he writes deluxe album on the whiteboard. And he goes, we come out with like another 2 tracks. So thank you guys. Thank you for supporting me. And I'm going to go ahead and throw 2 more tracks on you. That's it. Here's 2 more for y'all. It's so good the way he's sitting in the chair and he goes, here's 2 more for y'all. It's so good, dude. Yeah, I don't know. We're playing Sporcle. Here's a big one. Hey, this one goes out to the... Listen, okay, the Sporcle videos are not doing great on YouTube. So, Twitch, I know you're watching this live right now, probably, unless you're watching on YouTube. We got to do like a little thing to make the YouTube viewers feel more appreciated, okay? We got to... This one goes out... I know we're streaming this, but this one goes out to the YouTube viewers. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. You guys are keeping the series going when I don't know what else to play, because I've greatly enjoyed Aces and Adventures, and then I looked at the analytics after the stream and said, what the fuck, I'm fired, I'm dead, people hate me. And then I went away for 4 days right after it, so I need a damn hit, man. Thank you for your support. Name just one. 10-to-1 movies. Can you name just one of the movie answers, which will then trigger the rest of the answers for that category? Well, I'll have you know, I just got back from Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, so I think you're in a lot of trouble on this one. One of the first 10 Pixar movies? Okay, how about number 1? How about A Bug's Life? I mean, number 2. 9 Star Wars movies? How about Rise of Skywalker? 8 actresses in Ocean's 8. How about Aquafina? 7 highest grossing films of all time. Let me get an Avatar. 6 actors or actresses with 6+ acting Oscar nominations and no wins. Amy Adams. Oh! 5 Yellow Brick Road Travelers. The Cowardly Lion. 4 directors of Harry Potter movies. Well, wait, seriously, Alfonso Cuarón. 3 movies, Meryl Streep won an Oscar. Kramer versus Kramer. Ooh, versus Kramer. Oh, dude. Quotes from The Graduate. Plastics. 1 individual, 26 Oscars. Laurence Olivier. Oh, Eminem. Meryl Streep. John Williams. Oh, Walt Disney. Walt Disney. If I only had 4 seconds, I can't get that. I said Eminem, but I could have gotten that if I'd had more than like 10 seconds, man. Oh. Eminem only has 25, of course. Wait a minute, I've done like all the other ones. Can you? Okay, I know. If I know, let's scale my hockey knowledge at 100, just for relative strength. Okay, my hockey knowledge is at like 100. My basketball knowledge is at like a 40. My NFL knowledge is at like a 30. My MLB knowledge is actually like a 10. It gets worse. I don't know. Listen, when we were coming back from the airport, we was waiting for my suitcase on the conveyor belt. Apparently, the rugby sevens are in Vancouver this weekend. I was like, why are there so many hot 6'7" guys wearing shorts waiting for suitcases here? Team Australia, Team USA, Team France, Team blah. Like there were so many athletes there. Kate said, "Do you know the name of a rugby player so we could get an autograph?" And I said, just being honest with you, I could not name a single one. It's not meant to be offensive. My rugby knowledge is One, I guess, because I know that when you score a touchdown, I think it's very cool that you have to kick the field goal from where you scored the touchdown instead of it being recentered. Sorry, it's called a try. Maybe I'm at 0.75 then. Okay, 10 players with 700 plus career stolen bases. Jimmy Rollins, Ricky Henderson. 9 players with 600 plus home runs. We got to say Babe Ruth. 8 pitchers with 355 plus wins. Let's go Cy Young. 7 managers with 2150 plus wins. Give me Tony La Russa. I can't believe it. 6 franchises with 7 plus World Series. Give me the Yankees. 5 franchises that have won every World Series they've appeared in. The Miami Marlins. 4 pitchers with 4,000 plus career strikeouts. Give me Clemens. 3 players with 400 plus home runs for the Red Sox. Give me David Ortiz. 2 Yankees to hit 61 plus home runs in a season. Give me Roger Maris. 1 current franchise with 0 World Series appearances. I can do this. Angels? Oh, really? The Mariners. Yes. Oh, the Angels have been in a World Series. 2002. They won in 2002, 2003. Oh, wow. Oh, they are on the quiz, aren't they? There they are. They've won every World Series they've appeared in. 0 of 0. Whew. I know everything there is to know about baseball. John Legend for me, no disrespect, a little disrespect. He's got to be the epitome for me of he's very talented, so what? No disrespect, John Legend. How about you take your incredible piano stylings, your tickling of the ivories, and your fantastic singing voice, and you write a good song? How about that? How about you write? Listen, Mission to Burma, lead singer can't sing for shit, okay? But that's when I reach for my revolver, gets your blood pumping. You're 25 steps ahead of them in the race, and they're crossing the finish line before you. Anyway, that's John Legend. Even his Sesame Street song is like, it's basically like, we should all get along. We should all get along. You're like, okay, this is Katy Perry. I know because I watched an episode of American Idol this weekend. That's Lionel Richie. I know that because I watched an episode of American Idol this weekend. Oh, this picture did a lot of damage to me. I can't look at this picture. It's James Corden, obviously. Where's the... They probably had her do like gin and juice or something, and you're like, wow! I knew she could sing. I didn't know she could rap one song. She's so well-rounded. I don't know. She might have just sang her. She's very talented. I'm not knocking Adele. Sorry, James. I am knocking James Corden. Who's that with Albert Einstein? Oh, fuck. Is this Niels Bohr? Scientists dress goofy sometimes. This is Niels Bohr. This is Werner von Braun. This is Fermi. Are you Fermi? Which one are you? That's Richard Nixon. That's Fermi. Are you Oppenheimer? Are you Peter Sellers? That's probably Oppenheimer, if I had to guess. I would probably say it's Niels Bohr. Maybe you're Rutherford. Fermi? It's not Fermi. Okay, are you Richard Feynman? Mary Curie? Joe Weisenthal? I don't know this one. I got to pass on this. You know, he looks like a scientist. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Niels Bohr. Okay, I got to say it's Fermi. Maybe Oppenheimer? Okay, that's Oppenheimer. My man's wearing a damn tracksuit. If it's good enough for the smartest man in the world, Is he wearing the world's first Arc'teryx? He's dripped up, man. You're right, that is Picasso. This is not fair. That's Winston Churchill. What the fuck is that hat, dude? Do you get that from a Giants Monopoly board? His wife? Madame Eisenstein? God is my witness, I have no idea. I don't think it's Niels Bohr, though. Einstein. Let's go. Hey, dude, I never knew this guy. He's got to be pissed off. He's like the most erased face in history. You never see this guy in the original image. You only see this one. I don't know who this is, by the way. Now I give up. That's John Barrymore. Okay. So like a street magician or something. Average score was 23. This is David Ben-Gurion. Okay. Oh, God. Why? Why? Niels Bohr, dude. This is the only one I didn't guess it on. Charlie. What? That is not Charlie Chaplin. They've made a mistake. That's Albert Einstein. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Mary Curie again? I guess this is from like when photos were first invented, so there's only a couple people to take photos with. It's Rabindranath Tagore, of course. Frank Adelot. Why? I don't know. I mean, what else was there to do back then? I probably ate a lot back then too if I was alive. So what a strange photo. Alfred Hitchcock in a chair that is far too small for him. Andy Warhol on his knees. No chair. Same height. It's a lot like that Jimmy Carter photo with the Bidens, where they look like they've been trapped inside of like a dollhouse by a malevolent wizard. You know the one. Sorry, that's Elizabeth Taylor, by the way. Oh, that's Lou Reed. Can't sneak that one by me. Why all the other photos are on Sesame Street? Why is this one deep in a nuclear bunker, like a Camp David or something like that? What's wrong with this one? Well, apart from the obvious, it's Tina Fey. It does look like Big Bird is visiting him in prison. It's Jimmy Kimmel. What? It looks. I thought he was holding a bedazzled piece of bling that said "bitch" on it. It's like this. Sesame Street would never license that. This is LL Cool J. This is One Direction. This is Zayn. This is definitely Harry. I think you're Niall. Wait, where's Tom Riddle? This is PewDiePie. Which means one of you is Liam. I'm going to say you're Liam. This must be Tom Riddle then. How close am I? You're correct, except for the Tom Riddle part. I forgot this. I know we did it last week. I forgot it. There's Liam, Zayn, Harry Styles, Niall, and then the other one. Louis Tomlinson. This is no disrespect to Louis Tomlinson. This was back in the early 2010s when a guy could get away with having the John and Kate +8 hairstyle. Anyway, this is One Direction. This is Jim Parsons, okay? This reminds me of when I said I was going pro. Someone said, please, the only way that you'll be going pro is if you're between quid and quo. This is the last message I saw before I went to the bathroom, and I was chuckling to myself the whole time. Stephen Colbert. He's zaza'd out of his mind right now, dude. That's obviously John Oliver. This looks like Bill Nye is just saying, just shut the fuck up. Bill Nye looks like he's saying, if you say literally one more time, I'm going to walk out of the damn show. This is Jane Lynch. It's crazy that they made 2 Kane and Lynch games when Jane and Lynch was right there. The Betty Davis? I don't know. Looks like they're singing a song about how they're going to have intercourse later, but the song is probably called, like, you know, Bananas Foster or something like that. Anyway, I'll pass. That's Barbara Streisand. Can't fool me. This song is called Sweet 16. So every song from like the 1950s, every love song is like, I love my girl so much, just picked her up from 9th grade, graduation. It's so bad. This is Johnny Cars, sorry. Happy Birthday, Sweet 16 is a pop song released in 1961 by Neil Sedaka. That shit has got to be mighty inappropriate circa 2022. Let me just go take a look here. Happy Birthday, Sweet 16 lyrics, Neil Sedaka. Tonight's the night you've waited for because you're not a baby anymore. You've turned into the prettiest girl I've ever seen. Happy birthday, Sweet 16. What happened to that funny face? My little tomboy now wears satins and lace. I can't believe my eyes. You're just a teenage dream. Happy birthday, Sweet 16. When you were only 6, I was your big brother. Then you were 10, we didn't like each other. When you were 13, you were my funny Valentine. But since you've grown up, your future is sewn up. From now on, you're gonna be mine. So, if I should smile with sweet surprise, it's just that you've grown up before my very eyes. You've turned into the prettiest girl I've ever seen. Happy birthday, Sweet 16. It's substantially worse than even my lowest possible expectations could have been. It sounds like, end quote, Your Honor, is the only way you could end that. Or Air Train JFK, an 8.1 mile long elevated people mover system and airport rail link serving John F. Kennedy International Airport. The driverless system, it's a conveyor belt! No, wait, a people mover, it's not a conveyor belt, it's a train. Sorry. I have no idea. I don't think anyone's looking up Happy Birthday Sweet 16 except for like the reception section of it. I gotta go longer on Air Train. It's Brad Pitt. It's Paris Hilton. She's not wearing her favorite shirt though. It's Kanye West. Sorry, I can't. She's taking a lot of photos, you gotta admit. She's been photographed with a lot of controversial figures, huh? Anyway, this is the unproblematic king of pop, Michael Jackson. Okay, yeah. James Corden would kill it on YouTube, dude. It's Alicia Keys. Who are you? Who are you? It's on the tip of my tongue. She an American Idol contestant? This is Justin Bieber. What a hairdo, man. I can't. It's a good comedian. I can't even look at his face without laughing. No laughter here. It's Ryan Gosling. Demi Lovato. Something's not right with Will Smith in this photo, right? It's not just me. He looks normal. You don't think that is... The eyes don't look right? They got photoshopped? You think this is a photoshop? Something's not right. It's Simon Cowell. Is everything okay with Taylor Swift in this photo? Is something wrong with my eyes? That's Taylor Swift. It's Colin Farrell. He's just a guy. It's Madonna. It's Donald Trump. It's her sister? You're Jennifer Hudson. Thank you, brain! Sometimes you just gotta have a background process. My head was like, I know who this is. Clara Bow? Betty Davis? Bro, they're literally like laughing in Florida. That's gotta hurt. They're like, oh my God, look at, this is where you're from. Lol. We're in Hollywood. Look at where you're from. Wow. Anyway. Dare I type it? I'm going to say that's Betty Davis. Okay. You, sir, you are, I have no idea. I'll do you one better. I couldn't even tell you which one of you fuckers is Charlie Chaplin. I have no clue. You could tell me it's either of you, and I could not tell you, honestly. Listen, buddy. Aren't you supposed to be a diplomat? Look at his it's shameless, man. His Dolly Parton. And Moses went and returned to blank his father-in-law. He what? And he called for Moses and Aaron. Aaron? Aaron is a biblical name? I thought Aaron was like a 21st century invention. No, sorry, a 20th century invention. Let's not be crazy. Blank called to him at the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, here am I. This is God. I'm crazy. I got that. That's a gimme. And Aaron and blank stayed up his hands, the one on the one side and the other on the other side. That's both of them. That is definitely both hands. One of them's over here and the other one is over there. I have no idea. Looks like he's saying you're going to finish that. And swallowed them up together with blank. When that company died, what time the fire devoured 250 men? I could not even hazard a guess. I'm done. I'm done. Wait, no. I know the last one. Hey, put me back on the screen. That's Jesus. I give up. Now do the Kim Kardashian one. Bro, but I'm going to get perfect on this one, and then people are going to insult my intelligence just because I haven't read the fucking Old Testament annotated edition with a foreword by Pope Benedict. I was literally looking at her and going, who the fuck is that? That's not Kim Kardashian. Bro, she loves her. As a body language expert, hold on, let me get out my green lines. You can see that Paris Hilton is holding exactly perpendicular to the camera, which means she's in control of the interaction. And then Kim Kardashian has subtly turned her shoulders and her pelvis in the direction of Paris Hilton here. Okay, it's Paris Hilton. It's Beyonce. This is Naomi Campbell. I'm just going to say I would go crazy at being famous. Because it seems like a big part of it is like all you need to do is remember people's faces or names when you see their face. She's got a very long back. It's Miley Cyrus. Like I'd be like, Miley! Sir Elton, it is an honor to meet your acquaintance. Look who's looking Fergalicious tonight. Selena, my favorite Gomez who isn't part of the Addams family. I could totally do this. Heidi, Klum over here. I haven't seen you in so long. Jennifer Lopez, I presume? No, I don't mind taking a photo. I can't keep this up, honestly, but Serena Williams, Cher. You think Cher ever ate a snack in school, and then they were like, and then the teacher was like, "Did you bring enough to share?" And she was like, "Yes." And then the teacher was like, "No, did you bring enough to share?" And then she was like, "Yeah, I brought enough for me." And then the teacher was like, "Listen, what I'm trying to say is, did you bring enough?" This is Jennifer Lawrence. This is Rihanna. It's Kim Kardashian. I mean, sorry, it's Britney Spears. It's Katy Perry. She's on some Gatsby shit. It's Jimmy Fallon. It's Anna Wintour. It's Donald Trump. It's Kanye West. We got 100%. I can't be stopped. There's Pete Davidson. This guy, he can't be stopped. There's Anthony Bourdain. I don't know who this is. I think I do know who it is, but I don't know who it is. It's Tony Blair. It's Vladimir Putin. It's Sarkozy. It's Michelle Obama. That's Berlusconi. I mean, I feel like Pope Benedict in every single one of these photos looks like a child actor from Modern Family. I'm not saying that he looks like any of the actors that are on Modern Family, but you could take this image and then put him into an episode of Modern Family, and then someone would be like, you know, "Who's that?" And they'd be like, "Oh, that's Manny's friend, Benedict from school." It looks so Photoshop, man. George W. Bush really gave him a photo of him and George W. Bush. What a useless gift, man. You give me a framed photo of me and you. I'm seeing you right now, dude. We don't need this. What is this? I just thought you looked good in it. It's just crazy. I mean, I know George Bush didn't buy the gift, but still, it just seems like a... Can't you just give him, like, I don't know, like a pen or something? You ever notice how much Steve Jobs looks like Peloton instructor Cody Rigsby? With the world's, like, absolutely worst haircut, no disrespect. Obviously, this is Bill Gates. Bono. This wasn't the look, man. This wasn't the look. Straw cowboy hat, studded leather jacket, black and red iPod Generation 1. Alicia Keys. Bro, why are you showing Steve Jobs how to use the computer? He invented the damn computer, Alicia Keys. Why would we were wearing so many stupid hats back then? Alicia, you're inside. What did I tell you, dude? Beck, you're wearing a felt hat inside. What's wrong with you? It's John Mayer. This is what people used to dress like. We used to be a proper country. And that's the Waz, of course. This look has to come back. Why is nobody rocking the polo shirt on top of the polo shirt anymore? Nobody's rocking polo under polo these days. It's coming back? Oh, baby, I'm ready. I got a few. What do you see? Well, Daniel, do you know who this is right here? I'll give you a hint. He loves it when I something like that, and when you closer, bring me the shivers, and when you do it over, then I'll bring it right back. I said, ooh, I love it when you suck me like that, and when you do with your clothes on, give me the shivers, something like that. It's about a skeleton. Kim Kardashian. I'm laughing because we already saw this photo before. I'm not. That's why I'm laughing. This is Jay-Z. I'm sorry. It's Kobe Bryant. Samuel L. Jackson. This photo is really good. This photo is... Oh, man. I'm to be a fly on the wall. Now, dude, this would be kind of... this is a dream blunt rotation. I agree. I'm not saying that Tiger Woods would be cool when he smokes weed, but I bet it would be fun. I bet it would be a fun conversation. Okay. I just don't know what to say about this one. I didn't know this photo existed. It's Snoop Dogg. It's Roger Federer. Why is Tiger Woods holding the trophy? You don't play tennis. Spike Lee. Jimmy Fallon holding a Wiimote. Tiger Woods dressed like it's it's the final 18 holes of the Masters. For some reason, they got him. There's no doubt they had to pay extra to get Tiger Woods to wear the red shirt, right? That's something he's only supposed to break that out for the final day. That's Bon Jovi, and possibly, no disrespect, but the worst shirt I have ever seen in my entire life. And believe it or not, I'm not talking about Bon Jovi's. Also, Dan, look, Bon Jovi's got the Superman tattoo too. It's not just Sam Yo. It's Muhammad Ali. It's Janet Jackson. This photo just doesn't feel right. It's Jay Leno. It's Prince. Listen, I have nothing for or against Tiger Woods. Here's one thing I'm going to say. I think I admire the fact that he just can't look cool. No matter what he wears, he just looks like someone told him to wear it. Someone was like, oh, this will look good. And he said, okay. Because I can relate to that. That's how I feel all the time. No matter what I wear, I'm like, this doesn't look like me. I mean, he looks most cool in the golf clothes, which maybe makes sense. It's Kobe Bryant. Like, he looks pretty cool there. Mark Wahlberg, on the other hand, does not look cool. Mark Wahlberg looks like a very small man. Also, Mark, listen, dude, you're playing golf with Tiger Woods? Why you got an AirPod in, man? Like, I get that you're a busy guy, but you're golfing with Tiger Woods. You couldn't think you could just be in the moment for like a couple hours or something? It'd be like, oh, by the way, hold my calls. I'm golfing with Tiger Woods right now. Were you listening to a podcast or something? Like, what's the problem? Who's that with Tom Brady? I know football. That's Donald Trump. Turns out presidents meet a lot of famous athletes. It's Oprah Winfrey. Not an awkward handshake in the slightest. Yep, this would be a lot of fun. I think this would be a great time. It's just the felt. I'm not a fashion consultant. I'm just saying. The felt pea coat, gray vest, crew neck shirt, and then the self-branded. Is that his brand? Tom Brady, is he number 13? It's 12. Okay. Well, they might want to listen. Is Jay still here? Can we get a critique of the readability on this logo? Because I mean, it's just all the characters mashed together. Jay-Z, what? Tom Brady, what the fuck are you wearing, man? You part of a gang? Are you a grown-up bully from A Christmas Story? Like, that's Tom Brady and the only beer he's ever consumed in his life. He's been taking 12 multivitamins a day ever since this taping in order to remove the toxins from his liver. This is Alexander Rodriguez. Absolutely horrible dark age for men's fashion. Mid to late 2000s it was not a good time. I'm not saying I don't have hats like that. I'm just saying it's the hat with the like casual button up. It's like, who's that with Weird Al? I think we got two more in us if I had to guess. That's Adam Sandler on the set of Sandy Wexler. Nope. Nightmare blunt rotation for sure. Jimmy Kimmel. Daniel Radcliffe. Dream blunt rotation. I'm giving them a dream or a nightmare. I'm going to go ahead and say this is Dream. That's Goldberg. I don't know. I think if Lin-Manuel Miranda had a sense of humor, this could be a lot of fun. I'm going to say that this is a dream, quite frankly. I know chat does not agree with me, but I'm going to say this one's a dream. I don't know. Listen, I got nothing against them. But I'm going to say nightmare. That's anyone with Jack Black in it that's a dream for sure. That would be a dream. Bryan Cranston, Weird Al Yankovic, sure. Honestly, I think this could be a lot of fun. I'm going to call that one a dream as well. That's the easiest dream of I mean, Weird Al Yankovic is a dream to begin with. This will be a dream. Full stop. Is Andy Samberg. Samberg. I think this will be a lot of fun. I think we'd be friends in real life. I think Jimmy Fallon and I would be friends. Isn't this what you want? Is somebody who just laughs at everything you say? You're Evan Rachel Wood? Sure, dream. Why not? This would be a damn dream come true. Are you kidding me? We got 100%, by the way. No, we're almost done. We did them all. This should not be hard. Because Grown Ups has an ensemble cast, and that's our terminal. And Mars Attacks has an insane ensemble cast. So I think if you took a little time, you could figure out how to get here very quickly. I got to think, though, we got Rob Schneider, who connects to Demolition Man and Judge Dredd, which gets you to Sylvester Stallone, gets you to Wesley Snipes. Of course, you got Deuce Bigelow in there, which connects you to, that connects you to Oded Fair, of course, as everybody knows. Deuce Bigelow 2 has the guy from Undercover Brother in it, which connects you to Dave Chappelle, which I'm going to guess there's an ensemble in there where we can get a connection. Also connects you to Neil Patrick Harris, which can take you to Starship Troopers, and there's a little science fiction overlap maybe. Have Julianne Moore and Adam Sandler ever been in a movie together? We got David Spade. We got Kevin James. Here, try me out here. We're going to get started. I forgot Jack Nicholson's in this. Wait, it's... Okay, so you go Jack Nicholson, anger management. Oh, well, that was like a lot easier than I thought it would be. My line was 8. Well, I forgot that Jack Nicholson is the president in Mars Attacks. Rankdol is the new wave. Rankdol. I'll sure. Guess the rank or elo of this person in this game. What? I'm gonna guess the elo. Guess the average elo between the two players in chess. Collect stars based on how close you get. Okay. Well, I'll listen. Look at this. I do get to step forward a little bit. Okay. Let me go full screen. Sorry, it's so small. Opening up G3 is a little bit atypical. You know what this makes me think of? G3 makes me think that this is a bad player trying to be good. So I'm stepping forward. Respond with D5. To me, that seems pretty standard. Fianchetto the bishop immediately. Follow up with a bishop to F5. Follow up with the second Fianchetto bishop. Listen, me personally, I'm going to say that you are a 1300 to 1499 player. I submit. Correct elo was 1975. I got 2 stars, though. Okay, next match. This is a new one. Okay, opening with E3. Oh, I got 0 stars. Never mind. I'd have to say that this is not a good starting move. E5 seems like a good reply. An absolutely heinous start, accomplishes nothing, blocks in your bishop, keeps your queen from having any power projection. This is heinous. That's also insanely bad. So I'm thinking right now we're looking at 100 to 599, honestly, but let's just see. Follow it up with that to this. I mean, this opens, I mean, knight to c3 is pretty good here. Okay, forget about that. Instead, we'll just keep moving pawns. I'm going to go ahead and guess that at this elo, they're going to have to take queen to b4 check. No, I didn't even see the rook take. I'm so stupid. I did play a few matches of chess on my seatback entertainment on the airplane, so I'm not coming in fully cold. Let's see. How do you follow this up? What would I play? Great question. I would probably resign. Short of resignation, that's tough. I mean, I would probably, you can't really, I mean, I guess I would play A4. Hey! Oh, sorry, I mean H4. Dude, maybe I'm ass too. Okay, now let's see. So just follow it through. What happens next? I mean, I would, if I was the black pieces, I'd play D5 here. Okay, you can't resist a check. There's pawn coming, no doubt about it. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. I would say, here's what you do, okay? You play knight to c6. They take, you take, they do something, probably like this. You take here, they take with the queen. No, that's bad. I can't play chess anymore. Anyway, I think you're 100 to 599. Well, you know, you did see the bishop. I'm going to say 600 to 899. Submit me. Match result, 250. All right. I got 1 star. Give me next match, please. Okay, E4. This could be any skill level. C5. This could be high. Okay, so that's a classic move. I forget what this is, but I know that it's popular. How boring are they playing? To me, this seems like 2 decent players who are now out of the opening and they're scared and they're just throwing it at the wall to see what fits. I think you're 1,500 to 1,699. They're 964. You're playing this Sicilian at 964? Bro, if you're under it, listen, I know this probably doesn't stand up in the world of chess anymore when everybody's watched 3,000 Gotham videos. If you're under 1,000 and somebody plays E4, just be a man. Respond with E5. Don't get into some fucking the Najdorf variant with 3 ... A6. Like, just play E5. Then they play knight to F3. You play knight to C6. Then they play knight to C3. You play knight to F6. And then they play... Listen, you have to play bishop to F4. And then, you don't know it. Not F4. What am I talking? Bishop to C4. You just copy their moves until you get into some tactics, okay? Yeah, play the 4-knight Scotch game, exactly. Apparently, Kate is live. Can I get a confirmation on whether or not this is correct? It is. All right, well, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll play something a little bit more exciting. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's be honest, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow yet. We're just figuring it out. I barely even know what I'm going to do for the rest of today. See ya.
We need the, what was that emote? Lion yikes. So, like, Ryan basically saved himself from riding any of the scary rides. Because he's like, oh, you know, it's okay. I will look after our baby. You go ahead. You go ahead. I'll be like, are you sure? You know, like, we could take turn, or like, I can look after the baby and you can ride. He's like, no, you go ahead. You go ahead. Me and the baby, we're gonna have a great time. You take the ride. You go ahead. And I tried to persuade him. I was like, how about? And he's like, no, you go ahead. It's okay. It's okay. I'm like, but no, you go ahead. So I'm like, okay. So he, you know, before he didn't have excuses. Before he was like, do I really have to? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, fine. And then I was able to capture the moment. But then he has an excuse. And I couldn't, I was like, I could take care of the baby, you go ahead. And he's like, no, that's okay. That's okay. Me and the baby, we have a great time here. And I'm like, I couldn't do anything after that. What can I say after, It's just like, okay. Luna was scared of like the darkness. Like she wasn't scared of scary rides. You know what I mean? Because I mean her heights. Like she wasn't able to ride any of the scary rides. But the darkness, like it terrifies her. So like she was scared about the darkness, not the drops or scary rides or anything like that. But then Ryan was like, I think Luna and we share the same DNA. I don't think she's, fan of scary rides. And I'm like, she didn't ride any of the scary rides. She was just terrified because of the darkness. She's not like you. And then he's like, no, I can sense when I was a kid, I was like that too. And I'm like, aren't all kids like that? And he's like, nah, she's like me. She's like me. And I'm like, I don't know. She could be like me. I think I was like that when I was a kid, but like, as I was growing up, I was enjoying more thrill rides. And then he's like, nah, she's like me. She doesn't like any scary rides. And then out of all the rides, there was a Pirates of Caribbean in Disneyland. And unlike any of the other rides that we rode, I guess we didn't expect it that Pirates of Caribbean rides had like a little fall. Like it was really dark. So Luna hated it because it was dark. But she was not terrified because it had a drop. But then the boat that was in front of us, like they were overly exaggerated. They were like, oh no, right? Like we hear the screaming, and then Ryan was like, what are they doing? This is just a little boat. Come on, man. We're just seeing some skeleton. That's it. And then we had the drop. It's a tiniest drop, right? It's just like whoop. And then Ryan was like,
not a tiny drop.
It was a tiny drop,
It's
and then
dark, so it feels
it was it was a tiny drop, and Ryan was like, his face was like, ah. He didn't scream because he was holding the baby, so he couldn't like he muted himself, but his face was the ah. And then it's for a little kid. It was like it's the tiniest drop. And then I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was brainwashing my child or whatnot. They after it was nighttime, we ate dinner, we're talking about, how fun it is in the Disneyland, what's her favorite ride and what's the least liked ride. And then Ryan's like, Pirates of Caribbean was the worst, right? And then, Luna's like, she's a polite baby, so she goes like, yeah, it was scary. And she says scary because it was dark. And then Ryan's like, yeah, it was scary. it had a drop. It was scary, right? And Luna's like, yeah, it was scary. And then Ryan's like, yeah, this is my child. She's equally as scared as I was in this children's ride. This is my child. And then I came out of the bathroom, and then Ryan's like, see, even Luna thought the Pirates of Caribbean was the worst ride because it was so scary. And I'm like, no, I think she's just saying it's scary because it was dark and skeletons, it was scary. And then he's like, no, it had a big drop. I'm like, it had a small drop. And then he gave me the look of like the Ryan look. He gave me the look. Like he was like, I'm right look, but I know he's not right. But he was brainwashing my child, saying the Pirates of Caribbean is the most terrifying. But I think honestly the peak for me was the Splash Mountain. The Splash Mountain got to be number one by a lot. Everything about it was great. Like the people that I rode with, the girl that was in the front, the girls are hilarious. I was laughing. They were having great time. Like I became friend with them almost. I didn't like the Splash Mountain didn't have any line, cause it was during the storm, so it was like people were already getting soaked wet, so nobody wanted to get on the Splash Mountain to get even more wet, I guess. So there was no line. Um, the cars. What was it? I forgot the name of the world. Westville or something. It was like Westville. I forgot what it's called. Anyways, in the cars area in the California Adventure, I did the car thing, like the thing that goes fast. That was fun too. But I got to say the Splash Mountain, I don't know what it is. It really does have that magic. Yeah, the Radiator Springs. Radiator Springs is fun. Like it's an amazing ride, but I feel like Splash Mountain just has that magic. That if they were to rebuild Splash Mountain, they would miss that magic. Like it's just like I don't know how to describe it. It's something about it is magical. You cannot recreate this magic. Like you cannot redo it. It's just like it was so good. It was so good. The town was Radiator Spring. Or the town. But the ride itself was fun. I did pay $15 to get to the to have the fast lane, cuz the normal lane was for 150 minutes of wait. The fast lane was 40 minutes. Then I think I paid like $20 or something, and it was still I had to wait 40 minutes. And that one it was fun, but I was surrounded with like 2 VIP groups. So like the very like right in front of me it was like a group of 6 or 7 of VIP, and then behind me it was group of 6 or 7 VIPs. So I get the VIPs, like they pay like what, like $3,000, $5,000 for like the private tour, and then they get the fast lane included. And both like it's like they were like high school friends. I don't know, like I don't know what it is, but they were like either the high school or like early 20s. But man, oh man, they were so annoying. Like the back in the Splash Mountain when I like the 14-year-old girls that was in front of me, they were hilarious. I love them. The early 20s, my god, I wanted to shoot myself. I was like if there was a way to end my life there, I would have ended my life. It was so annoying. The way they were talking, it was so like the things I hate the most. Like for example, one of the girl, she was talking to the guide, like the Disney guide. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I guess like they're Korean or Korean American. Yeah, like I cannot wait to get out of Disneyland and eat some Korean food. Like, oh my god, ramyeon so good. Bibimbap so good. But like we went to this like a Korean restaurant, but like they were so bad, so we left, or I left like a 0-star Yelp review, and guess what, the owner actually fired the whole staff. I know, like I kind of changed the whole restaurant, but yeah, I mean, the food was so bad. And then like when I was in the restaurant, they were like telling us that we have like a personal chef, but who cares? Like the food was so bad. It was like that for 40 minutes, and I wanted to end my life. Like obviously they weren't, I don't know, maybe they were just rich. Maybe they were like the influencers. But maybe they're like spoiled little brats using their parents' money, signing up for VIP tours in Disney. I don't know. But they sounded like the latter. And God, they were so annoying. It was just like, that's just one example. And like, I felt bad for the private tour guide person to like, probably like he had to be with that group for like 4 to 6 hours. Gosh, I bet he's like, this job sucks, man. this job sucks. I gotta deal with these girls. Like, I don't know, like the way she was saying everything. God. And then like that was the group in the back. Group in the front of me. They were basically the same level, you know, like they were like equally as annoying. And like I was just stuck there for 40 minutes. I'm like, oh my god, I'm just gonna die. It's like there was like part of me that was like, I want to die, and part of me was like, wow, like I didn't think those people existed. I thought they were like, you know, like I thought they were like stereotypical movie personality, you know, but like they were there, they were real, and I was like, my god, their life's gonna suck. I don't know. Oh, and then I had to ride the cars ride with them. The front 3 seats were them, and then me, and then the two other people in the back. They weren't related to the group, the VIP group. And then, man, like, the VIP guide was like, okay, you can take this ride, you can take that ride. And then one of the girls like, so, like, where's my other group? Are we supposed to race each other? Isn't that what the fun of this ride? Like, are we not gonna race each other? Excuse me, like, are we not racing each other? Like, I thought the fun of this ride was racing each other. And then the ride goes on. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. And then, as the ride was happening, they were just taking selfies non-stop. And then I'm just like, you know, because they're taking selfie, like, you know, my face is gonna be in the background. So I'm like, I didn't want to have my face in the background, because I didn't want to be in their fake picture. But then they were like non-stop taking photo. And I'm like, it was, yeah, it was, I felt like I was back in high school. The Mummy ride? Maybe you're thinking Universal Studio? There's no Mummy. Oh, you're thinking of, you're thinking of Indiana Jones. That's right. That thing is, under construction or under refurbishment. Something like that. It's not available right now. They tore that shit in half right now. But if the Indiana Jones in the Disneyland was similar or the same to the Tokyo Disney Sea, then I have been on the Indiana Jones one. It's if I was to ride that by myself, I would have found that ride pretty boring, and I'd be like, it's okay. It was kind of boring though. But then back in the, you know, it was before baby time. It was me and Ryan. We rode the Indiana Jones ride. And I had a great fun thanks to Ryan, because it was Ryan on the steering wheel. Next to him was me, and then 2 Japanese girls behind us. Right, that was the car, and the whole time Ryan thought it wasn't a track. Like, Ryan thought he was driving the car. He was like role playing without knowing he was role playing, right? And so, like, as the ride comes, you know, like there's like tickies that like shooting like darts, like boom, boom, and like the fire's like, and then Ryan holding steering wheels, he's like, and he's like actually driving. He's like, I was laughing, like I couldn't tell him that it was on the track. Like, it didn't matter if it was like him turning the steering wheel. That didn't matter, right? That shit is just prop. But I was laughing so hard I could not talk. Like, I was wheezing, and then Ryan's just like, and what made it better was the 2 Japanese girls behind us screaming like, Ayana! Yana yana te! And then Ryan was like, oh shit! And me just wheezing. And then during the ride, there's this like, I don't know what you would call it. It was like the Mexican thing that's like shoots like the gas, I guess. It was like, poof, like that. And it's just a smoke, right? It's just a smoke. It looks like it's gonna shoot out fire, because there was like fire around it. But then it doesn't shoot out like firebomb, it just shoots out the smoke bomb. And then like it goes like Puh! And then shoot out a smoke bomb, and Ryan ducked thinking it was like a firebomb, and he was like ah, and then like he was trying to drive so that the car won't face like the smoke bomb. Oh, and then like the Japanese girl in the back was like, yamete, kawaii. Oh, it's like, it might have been like one of the best rides. Not because the ride the ride itself is great, but like the fact that Ryan thought that the car was not on the track, like he thought he was actually driving the car, like it was the greatest moment. Like obviously that would never happen again because he knows. Like I told him as soon as we got out, I had to like stop. I need to like stop laughing. My stomach's gonna like tear into 2 pieces. And then after I was able to breathe, I told him like, oh, like, by the way, did you know like you weren't driving the car? That thing was on a track. And then Ryan was like, what? You telling me that shit was just on a track? I'm like, yeah, you weren't driving the car. And he was like, man, I was driving so hard trying to save these 2 Japanese girls in the back. They were so terrified. And I'm like, yeah, it's just on the track. Oh, that was so good. Oh. And then we wanted to ride the Indiana Jones ride. When we got there, it was on like refurbishment or something. It was torn in half. And I was like, oh man, that's too bad. And then Ryan was like, that's okay. We rode that back in Tokyo Disney Sea. We don't need to ride it no more. And that shit was like, you know, throwing firebomb at us. And I was like, what do you mean firebomb? It didn't have any firebomb. And then Ryan was like, yeah, that shit had a firebomb, remember? As I was driving, it blew the firebomb into our face. I'm like, Ryan, that shit was a firebomb. That shit was just a smoke bomb. And Ryan's like, smoke bomb, firebomb, same shit. And I was like, not the same shit. Not the same shit. It was so good. It was one of the best memories. And you can understand why I love dragging Ryan into the amusement park. It just makes it so much better. That like him accidentally role playing is like what's great, honestly. It's like almost bringing like a 2-year-old baby to the amusement park, but then it's even better because that 2-year-old is not 2, it's 34-year-old man. But then he has never experienced any of this. It's it makes it just that much better. It was so good. If I really do hope there was like a photo for like the Indiana Jones ride, because you would see me like crying in laughter, just like gasping for air. 2 innocent Japanese girls in the back screaming, "Tasukete! Ah!" And then Ryan like, Monka steer. Oh. I bet the people watch the security cameras for the ride were dying with laughter. So true. Especially you would like, it wouldn't be so funny in Japan, especially you see this like bald ass white male like thinking that he's driving that car. Oh. We have the photo of Tower of Terror in the Tokyo Disney Sea. And it's a great photo. If I ever like go to the court and be like, my honor, he has been a untruthful man. Look at this example. And then I will give him the Tower of Terror picture. It's so good. Because like I'm sitting next to him on his right. And then there's a Japanese girl and her boyfriend sitting on left of him. And as the thing drops, it takes the photo. And you can see Ryan stretching out his left arm, protecting the Japanese girl. And leaving me out on dry. Nothing for me. Nothing for me. And he's stretching his arm, like, protecting this random Japanese girl. And then you know, like I always check the pictures at the end. And then we're like, you know, I'm gonna check the picture, and then Ryan, and then I was like, Ryan, come over here. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you touching this random Japanese girl that's on your left? And then Ryan's like, dude, I don't even remember that. It was just on the moment. In the moment, I don't remember doing that. I'm like, I gotta get this photo. I gotta get this photo, and I'm gonna present it to the court. Case one, abandoning his wife and protecting random Japanese girl who had the boyfriend next to her, like, and I still have the photo, and Luna loves to look at it. She goes like, mommy, that's daddy. I'm like, that's right. But who's daddy protecting? That's the real question. Maybe he thought that was you. What are you talking about? He knew I was sitting on the right. We were talking to each other the whole time. Suddenly he thinks like I'm on the left. Just like, it's funny. He's left-handed. What the fuck? So it's like, he's left-handed, I need to be on his left to be protected? Is that what it is? What the fuck? And then, like, you know how I destroyed Ryan on, like, the Buzz Lightyear's ride? Where you shoot, like, the targets in the Disneyland? Ever since then, Ryan was trying so hard. So the next day when we went to the California, it was the Toy Story. It was the same thing. It was the Toy Story one. But this one, it wasn't the trigger. You actually had to like pull the string in the back. And it hurt my arm so much. And also, Luna was sitting on my legs. So I couldn't really like move my arms very well. Because like my arms were like, I had to hug her. So I was kind of going easy. Like I wasn't trying hard. I was like, ha ha ha, I'm having fun. I wasn't like, I'm gonna fucking beat his ass, you know? But then Ryan was like, he's like, I'm gonna fucking beat his ass. And he was just pulling that string like non-stop. And then I was like, whoa, I was going easy on you, and like, look at your score. And then Ryan's like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you on this game. And then he went like, bah, 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 like pulling his freaking the string of the gun. And I was like, oh, but I won't let you. And then I tried to like catch up to him, but then one of the screen broke, so like we couldn't do it. So I couldn't catch up to his score. So I lost him on that one. And then when we got on the web slinger, Spiderman web slinger. Iguna Veru, thank you very much for 9 months. I wasn't trying all that hard. Same reason, Luna was sitting on my lap. I couldn't really swing with my arm, because if I were to swing my arm, then I would hit her. So I was kind of going a little slow. And then Ryan was like, he was like swinging his arm like crazy. I'm like, Ryan, and I think Ryan beat me by little. And then he's like, yeah, let's go. And I was like, but I mean, like, you know, I couldn't do that. Like, I didn't want to hit my baby. So I'm just like, I have fun. But it did hurt my arm. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice the baby for the greater good. You know, on the same level, I would destroy him. Example photo, on my Twitter. Luna was sitting in between us. It was like Ryan was sitting alone, then it was Luna, then it was me. When I wasn't protecting the baby, when I was, you know, when there was no leash tied up on me, I went like bah, 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 and destroyed Ryan. When when Luna was in front of me, I couldn't really use my arms all that well, you know. I let Ryan win. You gotta have some, you know, losses for my own husband. Luna would understand. It was, and then Ryan said, I like the California more than the Disneyland. And I was like, why is that? And then he's like, all the rides that we had is up to my speed. and like all these shooting things. You liked all the shooting things, and then Ryan's like, "Yeah, that was fun. That now I like amusement park." And I'm like, "What the hell, man?" Insert relevant Rock Lee scene exactly. And then but anyways, oh yeah, and then I always tell Ryan to watch Up, cause I watched Up twice. No, once. I watched twice? Either twice or once. It doesn't matter. Cause anytime I hear the Up theme, I freaking cry. I cry so much that my eyes get so swollen. It's just like I don't know what it is. The Up just hits my core. I have never cried so much from a movie other than Up. Up really is, it's just like just I bet if I were to see Up now, I would even cry more, cause the old man looked like Ryan, man. You know what I'm saying? The old man just looks like Ryan. Can't do it, man. The old man has hair. Yeah, but then imagine Ryan as old man. He would look like the old man, dude. I forgot the old man's name. What was his name? Jerry? Something like that. Just imagine, man, if I somehow die before Ryan, he's gonna be fucking ruined, dude. Carl, that's right, that's Carl. The voice actor is bald. Oh my god. We try to find like any bald relation. But like the story, like freaking, you know, like if I die somehow before him, he'll be so freaking ruined and he will be all cynical and grumpy as fuck. And like no fun allowed, you know? And I was like, it will make me cry so hard. And would not be the same for vice versa. What are you talking about? I'm gonna live my life to the maximum. Would you love Ryan if it's a warm? Don't say dirt. Dirt! Oh, freaking eating dirt for 300 days straight. Oh, that shit gets me, man. That shit gets me. She's going Disneyland every day if Ryan dies? No. But I'm not gonna be sad, cynical, angry, unhappy person. I'm gonna be... I think I'll do well. And normally, not saying it's not like 100%, but normally when the husband dies, the wives tend to do great. They have no problem. When the wife dies, men tend to have lots of problems. They go like, damn, the lady who was doing the laundry and cooking, like, she gone. What am I gonna do now? Order takeout? Getting concerned for Ryan now? You didn't increase his life insurance mysteriously recently? Nah, man. Didn't I say I would love him even if he's a worm? Would you still love Ryan if he's a worm? Yes, honey. In your little dirt box. Just don't say dirt, dirt. Fuck. Eating dirt for 300 days straight. I didn't say anything negative. I said no perfect crime has ever existed until then. But you don't know what that means, right? I thought you said you would crush him. No. Maybe, might, I don't know. Nothing in that detail. Vaguely, maybe.
Heart and soul. It's got a lot of heart and soul. I don't know the rest of the words, but it's got a pretty good bass line. pretty good baseline, heart and soul. My wife is streaming Mahjong Mondays Pog. I'll send you right over to her stream. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday night. I'll see you tomorrow for Dome Keeper. A scrammy dirt.